Hello everyone, this is Mohammad Hanis Zamir. So today I would like to discuss about the eternal life after death, and here is the resurrection. So one of the principles of the Islamic worldview. Here, one of the principles of the Islamic worldview is an important foundation of Islamic faith is the belief in the eternal life. Faith in the eternal life is an essential requirement for being a Muslim. That is, if one denies this belief, one can no longer be considered as a Muslim. The messengers of God, without expectations, next to the principles of monotheism, have pointed out this other principle to people to the most important one and have asked them to have faith in it. This is the principle known as the resurrection among Islamic theologians. In the Holy Quran, we come across hundreds of verses which discuss the world after death, the day of resurrection, the scales of judgment and evaluations, records of our deeds, heaven and hell, eternal life in the next world, and other issues regarding the world after death. However, there are 12 verses in the Quran that faith in the last days have been specially mentioned next to the faith in God. There are several expressions in the Quran regarding the day of resurrection, and each of these is a gate to knowledge. One of these is Al-Yawmil Al-Akhir, meaning the last day, in which the Holy Quran reminds us of 2 points. Not only human being, but also that of the whole world is divided into 2 periods, each of which is known as one day. The first day, or the period referring to this world, is temporary. The last day or period referring to the other world is everlasting. In some other verses of the Holy Quran, life in this world is called first life, and the life in the hereafter, the resurrection. Going through the first life or period and not having come to the second day or the period which is concealed from us, our happiness in this world and the other lies, having faith in that day and period. Our happiness today depends on this belief because it warns us the warns us of the consequences of our action. Thus we realize that our deeds, behavior, thoughts and moral words, from the most important to the most trivial, have beginning and an end, like a human being itself. They do not terminate in the first period but remain to be taken into account on the successive day. Therefore, we should strive to be a good and abstain from evil deeds and thoughts, as it will subsequently be discussed. Our happiness on the day depends on the belief, because in other world man will be rewarded in light of his victorious acts and punished as a result of his evil deed in this world. This is why in the Holy Quran, faith in the resurrection is considered as essential requirement for man's happiness. Origin of belief in the hereafter. The origin of belief in the eternal life, the last life, in the first place, the revelation God brought to the mankind through his messengers. So, whenever man comes to know God, belief in the truth of the prophets' messengers, realizes that what they bring is a revelation from God. In order to be not to be a transgressor, he will come to believe in the day of resurrection and eternal life, which all prophets have stressed most significant principle to the next, that of monotheism. On the other hand, the degree of man's faith in eternal life depends on his belief in the principle of prophecy, on the truth of belief of prophets' messengers. On the other hand, it depends on the extent of his general knowledge and the degree of his larger notional concept of the last judgment. Besides God's revelation brought to man, his messengers, there are other means, signs and proofs to cultivate faith in resurrection. One of them is the outcome of man's mental, intellect and scientific endeavors. They confirm the truth the prophet's message regarding the last judgment. They are the way of knowing God, the way of knowing the universe, the way of knowing human beings, spirits and soul. Thank you.